Good afternoon, everybody. We're here today with another episode of the Gentleman's Dialogue. Sitting here again with my right-hand man, Soloman, Solo.
Yes, sir.
We're going to talk about something today that, we kind of, it's come up before in the past, but, we kind of rehashed it today. And it's really a conversation to kind of encourage people in a sense. It's not necessarily encourage, but just to remind people that, we have to stop looking at everyone else's position, everyone else's success, everyone else's endeavors, so on and so forth, to determine where we are on the timeline of success. Everybody reaches their goals at a different point, different time in life. I had a friend who was, upset because, she's 35 and not married yet. But she's comparing herself to her sister who got married last year at 23. Now she's feeling like her clock's running out and, I don't have time and, I can't do this and I can't do that, because I got to reassess my life because I'm not married yet. And I told her, I said, that's one of the biggest mistakes you can ever make. Looking at someone else's position and comparing your position and trying to determine where your position should be based on someone else. And that's discouraging if you do that. If you allow yourself to fall into that trap of thinking that where my friend is, or not even a friend. Social media. Let's jump on that for a second, because a lot of times, we're looking at social media, right?
Yeah, that's a good one.
And we see all the reels and the posts, and people are out there and they look like they're just doing it up, right? But I'm just only going to talk too about the real post, because if you know the history of how that stuff works, you'll realize that some of those posts are the stuff that you see in the background. It's not what it appears to be. Yeah. And I'll just leave it at that. But we have we have to stop feeling bad and creating a atmosphere mentally that says, hey, I'm a failure because I haven't done this yet. It's okay. It's not a problem if you haven't done something yet. You don't see either. We pay attention to the finished product.
That's so true.
But we never pay attention to the process. The process that it took for someone to reach a certain point or place in life. You can't look at the fancy cars. You can't look at the big house. You can't look at the nice clothes and the $500 shoes and say, oh man, they've made it. I think we got to start looking at how we define success. It's, right now we kind of look at success as simply being a financial status. I know a lot of people who have reached status who are empty people. They kind of like that song, what was it? Mary, Mary. The one where they talk about, you see me out in the streets, but what you don't see when I get home is, when I get home, I'm a mess. I'm a wreck. We don't see that side often of people. See, we see the mask, we see the costume, and it's just ironic that you got Halloween coming up next week, and people talk about they dress up or whatever they do, and go get candy and go to parties or whatever, but Halloween is actually every day, and I'm talking about the Halloween part of the dressing up and wearing a mask,
Oh,
because
wow.
people wear masks
I like that.
every single day. You can look at someone on the outside and you don't realize who they really are. Again, we have to stop looking at someone else's outside and making a determination on our lives on where we are. You feel guilty, and I'm like, you know what, man, we got to stop doing that. Misery loves company, and you'll make yourself miserable. Trust the process. If you know you're doing what you are supposed to be doing, if you're busting your butt to achieve and accomplish whatever it is you want to accomplish, stick to the process and trust it. You will get there. You may not get there in 30 days, 90 days, a month, or even a year, but you can't give up just because it appears that someone found this success overnight. You again see the finished product, but you didn't see the process. You didn't see the blood, the sweat, the tears, the late nights being up with no sleep. You didn't see that part. They also didn't have on those red bottoms when they were working on those projects or whatever it is that they were doing to get to where they are now. They didn't have on a $1,200 suit sitting down at 3:00 in the morning trying to make it. Some sweatpants, probably your hair looking all crazy, probably hadn't brushed your teeth, had empty plates around you. I mean, it's a process. It's a process, just like an athlete. You see the athlete after he gets drafted, and I hear so many people, and as an ex-athlete, I hear so many people say, "Oh man, how did he make it into the league? Man, I was much better than he was, man. Baseball, basketball, football, whatever sport is." But you're looking at the finished product. You didn't see his process, and there was something about his process that moved him along to the next level, then to another level, then to another level. So again, we have got to stop looking at someone else's condition, situation, their current status. And we got to stop looking in the mirror and trying to compare the two. Your mirror is your mirror. Their mirror is their mirror. So Solo, what are your thoughts on this subject, man?
I think you hit a lot of great points with that. And honestly, the funny thing is because this subject was on my mind, man, and it's been on my mind for a few days, because this is something I personally struggle with, because it's one of those things where you see somebody that's in a position where you want to be, and it's like, man, so many things run through your mind, like what is it like to be there? Why am I not there yet? Am I not doing something right? Is this for me? Is so many things that run through your mind, and when you think about it, it can throw you off. It can throw you off of your game mentally. But like you said, man, you have to remind yourself that the biggest thing is it's a process, and a lot of times, sometimes there's also luck involved, and that's not always the case. I mean, but things happen. Sometimes they didn't. They weren't up till 3 a.m. With everything around, or they didn't build an algorithm or something. They could have just won the lottery, or a relative could have passed and left them. They had some good insurance, but regardless of the situation, even with social media, the way things are today, don't compare your situation to others, because what's meant for you is for you, and time is, I think, as long as you focus on preparing for what you want and learning how to maintain it, don't let the time bother you as much as it potentially could. Because a lot of times what you don't want is to be striving for something, and then you finally do make it to that point where you get what you want, but you might struggle with maintaining it. You might struggle with staying in the place that you were fighting to get to. And a lot of times, another thing I like that you pointed out, Steve, is you don't know. You see where people are and what people have and what they're doing, but you don't know what they did to get it, and you don't know what they're still doing to keep it. So sometimes it's a situation where you might ask for something that you really want, and you might not get it because it just might not be meant for you. Like it could be a situation where you could, I don't know, you could have a crush on somebody, and you could be like, man, they are so fine, and man, if they would give me the time of day. But if you would talk to one of their exes, or the right people, you'd be like, you know what? I mean, they look good on the outside, but from the inside point of view, it's not everything is cracked up to be. So it could be a ton of different reasons, but don't worry about where you are versus where someone else is. And I'm gonna be honest, man, it's hard for me to say that, because even as I sit across the table from my brother, we have conversations all the time, because there's some goals and milestones that I'm trying to reach right now, and it seems like I'm playing catch up. But the biggest thing is, I tell myself, is it's not a race and it's not a competition. I just like to surround myself with people who are beyond where I am, because that motivates me to climb and reach up to their level. And this is something that I struggle with, but you know what? It's just to take my own advice. It's not a race, and it's okay not to be okay sometimes, because you might not have something yet, because as much as you want it, the drive might be there, the determination might be there, but you just might not be prepared for it. And it's not the point that I'm trying to get to is, just because you might not be where you want to be, and you might not reach a certain goal that you're trying to reach, it doesn't mean that just because someone who is in that position, who might have got there before you, they probably were, maybe they were more prepared for it, or whatever the case may be. But it's okay. Just take the time while you have it, learn as much as you can. And before you get into certain things, just do as much research as you can, because it's a lot of situations that I got into that, sometimes you don't really think about things until you get into it. Like, it could be a car. You might, work and, get to the point where you can get your dream car. And it's so funny, because when I think about my dream car, I learned things about it, and it's the things that you don't think about that can catch you off guard, because you think about what you want and how you want it to be, but you also have to keep in consideration the maintenance and the process, because in honesty, when you really think about it, getting what you want, getting the success, whatever it may be, with goal or milestone, whatever, getting it is the easy part, but the maintaining it, that's where the real work comes in. I mean, even if we're talking marriage, it's not hard to get married. It might, take you a little bit of time to find someone, if that's something that you want out of your life. But it's a lot of work, and a lot of people, they think about the end result, but they don't. They think about the destination, but they lose track of the journey, and the journey is more important than the destination, as crazy as that sounds. Because the journey is going to set you up for the destination. And
but just to interrupt you for a second, Solo, man, my grandmother used to always tell me, no matter what journey you're on, no matter what you're trying to do, whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, you have to pray.
Yes.
We take on journeys ourselves, we pack our bag and we prepare for the trip. No, it's trip. I'm just comparing it. It's life's journey.
Yeah.
And we say what we want. We we seek these things, we try to get these things accomplished. But if it's not, at the end of the day, if it's not in your plan, you're just wasting your time.
That is
so
so
you
true.
really, that's why you also have to be spiritually connected, so that you're not chasing your tail. You pray about some things, and I don't care what it is you're trying to accomplish, whether it's a particular job or whether it's you're starting a business, whether it's marriage, whether it just doesn't matter, anything in life. I think you still have to me, and this is just again my opinion, and I don't push religion on anybody, but you have to have a prayer life. You really have to have a relationship with God, and He'll guide you. He'll guide you. And that relationship to me will actually keep you from bumping your head a few times.
Yes.
Because they always say, if you want to make God laugh, give him your plans.
Right.
Tell him what your blueprints are, and he'll look at you like, okay, no problem. I see what you're trying to do. I got it.
Yep.
But you might want to listen to me, because if not, you're just gonna waste a bunch of time. And that's what we do a lot of times. So again, that just wanted to throw that in, man. Didn't mean to interrupt you, man, but go ahead and continue your flow, bro.
Oh no, you're good, and that's actually a great point, because and like you said, everybody isn't religious. Even if you're not religious, just be connected to a higher purpose, a higher train of thought than yours, a higher being than yours, because that's so important. Because I wake up in the morning, and one of the first things I do is I pray, and it's almost like to me, it's like a meditation / therapy session in a way. And I can sit and I can, it's, even though somebody's not physically sitting, across from me, listening to me, I know that my voice is being heard, and things are happening in my life that confirm that, the things that I pray about. It's like, okay, well, yeah, here's confirmation on that. This is a green light, that's a red light, whatever the case may be. And that's a very good point about that. And it's definitely, it ties in with the process, because it's on your journey. You want to make sure that you have all the tools that you need to have a successful trip, and you want to enjoy it as well. I mean, because there's so much beauty in going places and just learning new things overall, talking to new people, having new experiences, doing things different, stepping outside of your box. Because oftentimes, especially if you want something that's worth having, it's not going to come easy. There's going to be sacrifice associated with it. There's going to be sleepless nights. There's going to be times where you might want to, you probably had a long day and you just want to come home and kick your feet up and relax. But it's like, you got to get some things done, and you have to push your wants to the side in favor of your needs. So, definitely make sure that everything is connected as possible, including yourself and your mind and your spirit. So, like Steve said, you won't be chasing your tail, because one of the worst things you could do is just come up with an idea and just go after it without a plan. And, you wind up in a situation where you're just wasting your time. It's like, if you go to the gym and that you want to build muscle and work out and build your core, but you're running on a treadmill. So it's things that you just want to, overall, my point is, make sure that you're in tune with yourself. Make sure that you're in tune with your faith, and prepare for what you want. Make a plan, do a vision board, write out your goals. Anytime you feel down, just use something to motivate yourself to keep going even when you don't feel like it, because that can be a thing too. I know some days I wake up and I could have a ton of things to do, and in my mind, it's like, you know what? I don't feel like doing anything. I just want to freaking sit around and just watch grass grow. But things have to be done, and you definitely want to stay as motivated as possible with everything. And also another thing is, building a team. That depending on what you're trying to do, you might have people who can help you, and definitely reach out and to your network and network with people, because you never know. You could be trying to do something and somebody, you might hit a roadblock, and somebody that if they don't know how to help you directly, then they might be able to say, hey, well, I'm not sure how to handle this, but I know somebody, or I know somebody who knows somebody. So another key thing is your network. Make sure that, you reach out to people. And even if it's not for, it doesn't always have to be business. It can be personal, because, relationships, it's a part, to me, it's like an ingredient to the cake that makes success, whatever that may look like to you. Because, for some people, it could be financial. For some people, it could be family, just having a family, and doing things with them whenever you get time outside of your work schedule. So whatever success means for you, definitely make sure that you not only have the tools that you need, but you're making use of them as well, because you never know. And a lot of people, I don't think that they realize how big their net worth is, because they don't network. And it's one thing my mother always tells me. She always reminds me, your network is your net worth. And it really is when you think about it, you never know what someone else may know. And you could learn information that might not necessarily directly affect you, but you could also be an asset to someone else. That's always the case too, because my goal when I interact with somebody, even on this podcast, is for the people that are listening, is how can I be an asset to someone else, also as well, because we're here to help each other. Life is not something that you can do alone. It definitely takes, like they say, it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a world to survive. And that's really, I think that's what some of the things that's most important when you're on track to, trying to reach goals or make things happen for yourself.
And on one of our future episodes, I think, started working on the list. I think, it'd be a good idea to literally have a show in which we can simply provide resources.
I like that. I love that.
There are a lot of things that people want to do, people need to do, but they don't know where to start. They don't know which resource to reach out to even get the information that's required for them to even get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and that'll be everything from, business information, everything from your LLC or EIN to whether you are, being abused at home, whether it's just a regular physical abuse. And when I don't mean to make it sound like it's, downplaying, but I got to compare it. I'm talking about adult abuse, adult on adult abuse,
right?
And adult on child abuse. So I need to make sure I'm separating that, because those are, again, are two different things. But we want to be able to provide and be some sort of, we want to be a resource for you to be able to get whatever the help it is. If your car is making a ticking noise and you don't know what it is, we even have, we have technicians that, you can reach out to us and we'll be in contact, or have somebody to contact you just to even help you out with that. Again, it's you can't find you're single mom, and you can't find a decent barber for your child, or a stylist for your barber for your son, or a stylist for your daughter, or whatever the case may be. We can help you with that too. And then if people are running deals and specials throughout the city, we're gonna let you know about that too. It's all about helping you save money and just improve the quality of your life. And also get people connected with people who can create resumes for you. A lot of people, if you're working, and this isn't for the people who are fully engulfed in entrepreneurship, but even in entrepreneurship, if you're asking for grant money or some sort of funding, a lot of times you still need a resume as well, because the lenders will ask that be a part of your package that you come in with as you request money. So everybody needs a resume. People who need help doing business plans, you can point you to people who can help you create, fill out all the paperwork for your 501c3. From that to helping you find fertilizer for your grass. We are a resource. We believe in helping people. We want everyone, again, man. The whole idea is to help everyone improve their quality of life, live life to the fullest, enjoy it to the fullest. And in order to do that, you gotta live efficiently, effectively, and with purpose.
I like that.
We just gonna wrap this up. The computer says we're at 26 minutes. Actually, it's not too bad. 27 minutes, 27:02, 34, and ticking. So, hey, just gonna sign off. Thank you guys again for listening to another episode of the Gentleman's Dialogue. We'll be back soon with another episode. As a matter of fact, when we in this one, probably gonna do another one right away. So we're gonna run them back to back. I want to keep you guys entertained, and we again appreciate you for listening. And if again any questions, comments, concerns, whatever, reach out to us at gentlemansdialogue@gmail.com. Have a good weekend. Solo, again, I appreciate you for another good show, my brother.
Oh, yeah, man. I appreciate you being here, man.
Hey, man, until the next episode, man, we'll talk.